I always joke with the wife because of Ronda Rousey dominating MMA. I'm like, I'll let Muggsy be an MMA fighter if she's a good one, because you don't want to be the parent of a bad MMA fighter who just gets pummeled like every other month.
And whose team is this? Is this your team, or is this your daddy's team?
Thanks for listening to Dad Mode Podcast. Common sense parenting in a politically correct world. Here's your host, Andy Carlson.
Welcome back to the Dad Mode Podcast, Common Sense Parenting in a Politically Correct World. I'm your host, Andy Carlson, at Andy Carlson Show on the Twitter machine. I'm a father, and I have no idea what I'm doing, but you don't either there, little fella, so let's try and learn something together today. Website is dadmodepod.com, Twitter at dadmodepod, or use the hashtag dadmode. Joining me again today, after his day break, I don't know, one of the two, Uncle Nick, at Nickason on Twitter. Hey, how's it going?
I'm doing okay. How you guys doing?
Good. Now, you were near death a little bit.
I woke up with a bad cold this morning. I called in sick, so took a day off, me time, sleep in, get some rest, kind of recharge the batteries every once in a while.
Now, is this because your rental place has a lot of black mold and asbestos in it? Slumlord!
No, my place does not have asbestos in it or black mold. We're very clean.
Now, asbestos is a mineral, right?
Yes. Yep. Comes from the ground.
All right, cool. Well, I don't really care. So I had the fun moment of the baby spitting up in my mouth, which is awesome. Yeah.
I read that on Twitter.
Yeah.
Very, wish you had that on video camera.
Well, it was interesting because I was recording the other podcast, Purple for the Win podcast, the pain and pleasure that is the Minnesota Vikings, purplefdw.com. And what I do is when I'm recording, when I'm watching the baby, a little Muggsy, is that I'll try to get her to sleep, and if she wakes up, starts fussing, pause the recording, take care of her, whether she needs a bottle, new diaper, etc. And that's the beauty of podcasting, because no one even knows, no one's the wiser. So on the episode, it was just all of a sudden, I just came back and it was like the baby just threw in my mouth. Yeah, because I was leaning back in the chair a little bit and had her was holding her underneath the arms and bouncing her a little bit straight up because that usually gets a good burp out of her, and all of a sudden, little blah. It was a
lot of bit.
No, it was actually just a little bit, so I was pretty fortunate. Except it was like from the movie Hitch. My mouth was open, Albert.
Oh.
I said go 90, not go 10.
Oh, man. I remember that movie, 2004, 2005.
That was a good movie, very underrated. All right, so that was the little personal anecdote, and Muggsy is in the background. The wife is just chilling with her at the moment. But let's get to the topic at hand. And the whole, would I let my kid play football? Now, obviously I have a daughter, except we do know, we've seen it on YouTube clips and that little Sam chick running around that, girls can play youth football, can play pee-wee football. When I coached youth football, there was a girl on some of the other teams, so it is quasi-applicable. But the wife and I, we're not done having kids. We're not done American Bears. So there probably will be a son, maybe two in there, and we'll get to that point. We'll have that conversation. Am I going to let the kid play football or not? Because there's so much emphasis now in the past couple of years about concussions, head trauma, long-term effects, and what that can do on the body. And I'm gonna say I'm all for it. Because I'll play football, I'm gonna let him play football.
I mean, are we limiting it to just football? I mean, there are a number of sports that can be, obviously quite dangerous for kids. I mean, I'm assuming the topic about this is, are these sports too dangerous? Is football too dangerous for kids? I mean, are we going to limit this to just football? I mean, if they want to play rugby or hockey, I mean, you can easily get hurt playing any of those. Soccer, I mean, people think, oh yeah, it's just running around kicking a ball. No, you can get tackled. You can get hit pretty hard with a soccer ball.
Oh, actually, there are like way more concussions in soccer than football. I forget the actual stat, but the NFL is the most popular sport in America. Sorry, baseball, but it's true. And I do see it staying popular and relevant because we've seen it through all the various lawsuits and like Adrian Peterson and Ray Rice and all the other bad press. They're still afloat, and they just seem to get more popular as it goes. Now, there could be an effect maybe like 20, 25 years down the line where there's a smaller talent pool of players because parents right now aren't letting little Johnny play football. They're having him play basketball or baseball or another sport. And that could be down the line, but that's not going to happen before I have my kids where if Muggsy has an interest in playing pee-wee football for some reason, I would have cause to pause for a little bit because she is my daughter, and it is primarily a male sport, like 99.9% male. The wife would probably say, actually, she's right here, sweetie, would you let Muggsy play pee-wee football if she wanted to, like say 4th grade?
I don't want any of my kids to play football. Different.
All right, she just said none of her kids are going to play football, so that means all of her kids are going to play football because someone was the parents in this family. That's not really how it works. So say we have a son in like 2 years, and by the time he's 10, ready for like the pee-wee football, 5th, 6th grade, NFL is still going to be the most popular sport. I assume if he's into sports, if he's not, that's cool too, but if he's into sports, he'll probably be in the NFL because that's my favorite sport as well. And of course, that's how you learn things from parents. And odds are a lot of his friends are going to be into football, and that's how it all gets started. Like, how many things have you done because your friends have been into it, sweetie? Because your friends have been into it, and that's how it's going to happen. I mean, he might not even really want to play football at first, but like little Aiden, Jaden, and Caden from the neighborhood, they're all strapping it up, and I'll be damned if my kid is going to look like a little compared to little Aiden, Jaden, and Caden. And we're going to strap it up, and we're going to play some ball.
Obviously, with Muggsy being a girl, do you think down the road, do you think there might be a future in like female football?
No, because
shut that out, don't break it.
It's so the lingerie football league is so demeaning and sexist, and there could be like actually I think there is like a very, very minor professional women's football league going on right now. I think the woman who is the Arizona Cardinals assistant outside linebackers coach in the preseason, I think she played in one of those professional women's leagues. So it could be something. It might not be. Who knows what the future holds, and who knows if Muggsy will be into it. But getting back to like the hypothetical situation, if I had sons, when we have sons, and it seems like the Neanderthal take, because you have some of these former players now. I think Kurt Warner was one of them. I can't think of any others off the top of my head. They're like, well, knowing everything I know now, I wouldn't let my sons play football. And I'm like, well, it's easy for you to say now. But I feel like there will always be a streamline of parents who say, hey, kids, you're going to play football because this is your way to get a scholarship and maybe someday down the line have a shot at the pros.
Let's, well, how
Even
early
though
are
that's backwards of thinking, though.
How early are you thinking of starting? I mean, like, do you have an age limit of like starting these sports?
Well, when I was coaching, there was tackle football at 2nd grade level. Now, I think that's I think that's a little too early. I would say have them play flag football up to about 6th or 7th grade. Probably 6, because flag football, you learn the rules, you learn the fundamentals, you learn all the bones and structures of it. Then once your body starts to mature, 12, 13 years old, around 6th grade, and then you can really start learning the fundamentals of properly tackling, hit which only hit what you can see, wrap up, proper form tackling, which is a reason why the game has become so dangerous, because people don't know how to tackle. They see ESPN, all the highlights are people getting jacked up, and you think that's how You tackle, you just launch yourself with your helmet. That's not the proper way to tackle at all. So that actually, under that's maybe 5th or 4th grade, so they can actually learn the actual basics. Anyways, in that sort of area, and then once you're wrapping up 7th, 8th grade, that's middle school football. 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th grade, high school JV football. That's all up in there.
I like that. I like that idea. Start teaching them younger. I mean, well, not as I said, not too young, but let them.
Yeah. Well, the thing is too is like if you start them too young, is a lot of the kids are still in kid mode, and kids don't like getting hit. Like there will be some kids that absolutely love the physicality of it, love the quote unquote violence of it, and they're gonna love it either way. But you know what? If you're a kid who's just used to on Saturdays just getting his juice box, chilling out, watching cartoons, and now instead you're out and you got parents yelling at you, and you have to go tackle this 150-pound kid with a gland problem who's carrying the ball, and you're in 3rd grade. Might not be your thing, but if you play flag football for a couple of years and you develop some skills, you learn all the rules, and you have fun with your friends. 3 or 4 years down the road, 6th, 7th grade, when you're ready to hit someone, your body's changed, your mentality has changed, and now you're ready to play the game.
Huh. Yeah, I like that idea. Yeah.
Now, you never played football, Nick.
I did. No, I did.
Oh yeah,
I did.
Walk me through the story.
I did through half a season. Obviously, growing up, a spoiler alert, I was not good at any sports I played, but obviously to try to be active because I was a bigger kid, and my mom's attempt to try to somehow make me healthy and to hang out with my friends and my neighborhood friends, we did sports together. So I did basketball and we tried football. Football did not last that long.
Football.
And that was due to the fact that our coach was kind of crazy. He would a lot of our practices would be nothing but running and not really teaching us about the sport. Mm-hmm. Hence, even today, I know nothing about football really. And
what position were you playing?
Do you think I knew what positions I was?
Nose
I was
guard.
a tackle. I was a tackle or something. I was something where and a lot of people who know me, I'm a very mellow, kind-hearted person, and tackling and hitting another opponent is usually typically the last thing I ever wanted to do growing up. So I never understood the whole fact that lining up and then just hitting this random opponent across from who's lined up across me. I never understood the whole point of that. Anyway, the league got because the coach was really crazy. A lot of parents complained. He was we had long practices. We did nothing but running, and parents complained. And my buddy Rick, who was with me, he didn't get any playing time whatsoever. So, and who's much more athletic than I am. So, so a lot of parents called and complained, and then the league got disjuncted.
Oh, so you about half a season not because you quit, but because the league got shut down.
Well, because the coach, they couldn't. Yeah. The coach was such an a-hole, and me and Rick bring it up all the time. Remember when we tried playing football?
All right, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so that's why my football career did not last that long growing up. Which, maybe you could blame the fact that, maybe I'd be a more not as kind, gentle person if I did play maybe more sports.
Yeah. See, that really sucks about that coach, because that's one of the issues about youth sports is that there's not enough good volunteers, because it is a big time commitment. Not many people have that or can squeeze that in, and that's why it's usually just one of the parents or one of the dads just coaching the team. And you got so many psycho parents out there. It's like, why isn't Johnny playing? And then you have so many coaches out there who think that they're like Belichick in the freaking Super Bowl. Like it's 4th and 5th grade football, and they got the kids wearing play calling wristbands. And I was like, what? Wait a minute.
Yeah, it was horrible. If you want to get kids involved in a sport young, you make it fun, but also, not to blame my parents at all, but since me not really being into sports, trying to get me into it, and me as a spoiled little brat, which we'll get into later, who just didn't want to get into it, don't invest the time and waste the money it costs to do it if your kids really just aren't interested in playing it at all. So.
And I feel like everyone's focusing on the negative aspects about playing football, and that you can get hurt, you can get brain damage, et cetera, et cetera. Except they never talk about the positives in it, where you learn the value of hard work, of teamwork, of discipline, showing up and seeing the fruits of your labor. If you're playing high school, that's Friday Night Lights, and there's something to be taken back from that, because I remember like the person who's shaped my worldview the most as far as an educator was my football coach, who was also the math teacher in high school, Jim Reinhardt, and he was tough, a little grouchy, although had a sneaky sense of humor. But he made sure that everyone was disciplined, everyone was on time, everyone knew their assignments, and that's something that's very valuable for when you're an adult.
Oh yeah, that sounds like having that coach to teach it just right. I mean, that completely changes everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and a little bit about my background. So I played football in high school, and I'm from a small town, so there wasn't like an organized Pee Wee football or youth football league at the time. I think there is now. I think they like send kids to Winona or something like that, or Rochester even. And so growing up in Rushford Peterson, a small little town, we just played football as friends in the lot, and we played sometimes tackle, sometimes two-hand touch, but that's sort of where we made our bones. There wasn't even like an organized flag football league since we were so small. But 7th, 8th grade, you had middle school football, and that was the sort of deal where you learn the basics, everyone gets equal playing time, etc. Then you get up to 9th and 10th grade. I played B team. 11th, 12th grade, played varsity, etc. And I never had any like major head trauma. I can't even remember. Well, maybe that's why I can't even remember. But I actually don't even remember any time I had a concussion or quote unquote got your bell rung or seeing stars or anything like that. I did tear my ACL in 9th grade, except that was life goes on. But that's really about it. And I look back on those memories playing Friday Night Lights and getting to wear your jersey in high school, acting like you're such cool shit on Fridays, and it's like I wasn't even that good, and I still look back at that with fond memories.
What position were you again?
I was a wide receiver and cornerback.
Oh, really? Nice.
So in a running offense, in a run heavy offense, I had an awesome time.
You got to play up at the what's the Metrodome, didn't you?
Yeah, we won the state title my senior year of high school, so we got to play in the Dome 2 games. And growing up, you look at the Dome and you're like, oh, it's so cool. It's the Metrodome. It's where the Vikings and the Gophers play, and it's supposed to be so cool. But once you get out on the field, you're like, this is basically painted cement. This is terrible. And that's really all it was. It's like, well, do you know like the green indoor-outdoor carpet that they sell at Menards that people have on like their decks and stuff or patios?
Yeah.
It was basically that on top of cement.
Holy crap!
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah. Now, Nick, when you inevitably have children, several children that you may not already know about, you might have a kid right now who's playing youth football.
No.
Well,
no.
All right, so fine. What's going to be your take down the line when they're like, Daddy, can I play some football?
Oh, I want them to have every opportunity that I can give them.
Or what if they're like, Daddy, I want to fight in Thunderdome?
All right, well, okay, so fighting, there's a line between fighting in a fictional movie and then
Tina Turner.
playing a sport. When I want my kids, it's something I wouldn't want to force upon them. I think, obviously, because being a heavyset guy, I want to encourage sports, athleticism, stuff that I wasn't really into. I'm definitely going to encourage it. I'm not going to force it on them. But I'm highly going to encourage it, and I'll let them play whatever they want to play. there's going to be a budget, of course. I know, like Minnesota sports, like hockey, is pretty expensive. I don't know the prices of football, but if they're within range of me and the missus, I will definitely I'll definitely find a way to be able to afford and try to get it done.
Well, youth sports are pretty much, youth football is basically as expensive as hockey because most parents do buy all of the gear. So all the shoulder pads, all the various pads, all the pants, all the helmets, etc., all the cleats. So it can add up as much as hockey.
Wow.
Yeah.
If my kid was diehard set on it, then I will definitely find a way to support it. If it's something where if I think my kid's kind of flaky, and I'll find like an alternative kind of method where I'm not investing so much, in which the kid really doesn't care at all, obviously. But
play it against sports.
Exactly.
Pawn America.
Or online.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, everything is online now. I can do Craigslist and stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome, Nick. You're gonna buy a nut cup on eBay. Hold on, Johnny. We got the buy it now price, so you know it's a good deal.
Oh, Amazon.
Now, just going about other sports real quick. I always joke with the wife because of Ronda Rousey dominating MMA. I'm like, I'll let Muggsy be an MMA fighter if she's a good one, because you don't want to be the parent of a bad MMA fighter who just gets pummeled like every other month.
Well, yeah, daughter might not know how to read after a bad fight. It's scary.
Well, see, at least Ronda Rousey's fights only last like 19 seconds.
That's true.
She just gets him in an arm bar or just completely pummels him in submission. They tap.
I heard she's going to be in the next Roundhouse movie. I heard they're remaking that.
The Roadhouse.
Roadhouse.
Yeah.
Roundhouse kick. Roadhouse.
That's going to be awesome.
That'd be nice.
Yeah. All right. So that's basically thoughts on football. I'm all for it, and I know it's not exactly the politically correct one because we're in the suburbs now, and I'm sure there'll be many parents who are like, I would never let little Aiden, Jaden, Caden, Bladen, Straden, Braden, Maiden, or Dayton play football. How dare you?
Well, let's go over those last two names again. What, Maiden and Dayton?
Yeah, Dad's a big Iron Maiden fan, and the mom just wants to use a Y in the name. Maiden.
Okay.
Oh, Raiden?
Raiden, all more combat.
Yeah, now, see, that would be interesting because the dad could get sneaky and, try and sneak a Mortal Kombat name in there, and the wife might not know it. She just wants to use the Y.
When the middle name is Johnny Scorpion Jones, that'll be it. Or Sub-Zero.
Yeah, there you go.
Sub-Zero.
And like Nick said, if you buy a Nut Cup online, buy it on Amazon. Go to dadmodepod.com, top left corner, click through our Amazon banner, bookmark that link, and just buy all of your Amazon stuff through that bookmark, and we'll get a little taste. Keep a little lights on in this mofo, and also tell a friend. Tell a friend about the show. Nick, who have you told about Dad Mode?
Everyone at my work, a lot of my friends and family ask about it. I was just at a wedding this last weekend. They seen my online posts on Facebook and Twitter promoting it. I think a lot of people are quite interested. Like, know what we're
you've
talking
gotten
about.
high praise, Nick. You're a good bouncing post.
That's exactly what I have to tell people too, because obviously I am not a father. I definitely don't know what I'm talking about, but
No, you're the Ed McMahon to my Johnny Carson. Really good stuff. That is correct, sir.
People are too young to know what that is.
Show's available on iTunes. Follow us on Twitter at DadMoPod or me at Andy Carlson Show. Nick is at Nickason. The website is dadmopod.com. Be a man, be a father, go Dad Mode, and we'll see you next time.
Think the episode you just heard is worth $1? Well, send it our way. Visit dadmodepod.com/support to find out how. Be a man, be a father. Go Dad Mode. The music is created and produced by deeB. To hear more of his tracks, visit soundcloud.com/deeB.